Hello world! Welcome to the first video in our Cyber Apocalypse CTF 2022 write-up series. In this video, we'll be covering the Forensics Challenge, Puppeteer. Let's get into it. So if you click the little info button, you can kind of get a little background summary or description of the challenge, but I'm not going to read through all of that, it's too long. So let's just jump right into the challenge, shall we? So we're presented with a zip file, and if you unzip it, you get these Windows event logs. Now there's two in particular we want to look at. And I like how these hack the box forensics challenges are set up because they're more akin to what you will see in real life forensics, at least on the malware side of things. So you should tackle this challenge as if you were looking for a piece of malware that you're going to reverse engineer. Now, you may be thinking, oh, there's a lot of logs here, so where do I start? Well, there's a couple in particular you should look at first. A lot of times malware, or at least the dropper for malware, is executed or written in PowerShell. And a lot of times when it attempts to execute, Windows Defender picks it up. So what two logs do we want to look at? Well, we want to look at Windows Defender and we want to look at PowerShell logs. Now there's multiple Windows Defender and PowerShell logs in here. So which ones do we look at? Well, we want to look at the operational ones for both of them. So we want to look at this one for PowerShell and for Windows Defender right here. Now that being said, you may try to open these up in your normal Windows event viewer, and some of them work, some of them don't. For me, I could not see the events for these two when I opened them up in my normal event viewer, so I had to use an event viewer analyzer, which is perfectly fine. The one we're going to be using is called Event Log Explorer. So we'll go ahead and open that up. Now don't worry about the evaluation version, that's the only version you need for this. And we're just going to do File, Open Log File, and we're going to select our PowerShell, which is right here. And we're going to select our Windows Defender, which is right here. Let's open those up. Okay, so let's expand the tasks here. And let's take a look at the Windows Defender first, just because that'll be easier to analyze. And you'll notice there's a solemn warning right here, a little lonely warning that kind of stands out. So let's click that. And sure enough, if we expand this up, in fact, let me maximize this. There we go. We expand this up. You'll see it picked up a Trojan, and it's called Plotty, and it is PowerShell based, and the path to it, or wherever it launched, I guess, is in C sysmanager special orders.ps1. So we're looking for potentially a log that captured the source code of this PowerShell script. And the best way to look for that is within the PowerShell Operational Log. So let's look at that. And you'll see a little warning that's kind of isolated down here as well. And if we click it and expand that as well, you'll notice that this does indeed look kind of sus. If you, whoops, didn't mean to scroll all the way down there. There we go. If you look down here, you can see, oh, this is the special orders.ps1. Awesome, so it was captured. Now you can kind of tell that this is the malware as well, because usually malware obfuscates its variable names by making these what look like kind of like base64 strings. And that's just so you can't figure out what they're necessarily doing, or it makes it more difficult to figure out what their intent is, right? Because most of the time software developers tailor their variable names to whatever the intent of the variable is. So let's go ahead and see if we can't reverse engineer this a little bit to get what we want. And we'll go ahead and bring open our PowerShell here, or PowerShell Ise. This is just an IDE that lets you interpret PowerShell. And we'll get rid of all the annoying bits here, because those will throw syntax errors and stuff like that in our code. Now then, if we take a look here, we have unpack shellcode, which is probably the malware, and then unpack special orders. My spidey sense is saying that we should look at the special orders. But let's go ahead and kind of purify the malware by getting rid of anything that's executable and can potentially load some malicious things onto our computer. So let's get rid of this, and this. Now you may be wondering, don't we need those? Well, no, because if you look, these variables right here, these obfuscated variables, are separate from the stage variables. They don't have any real correlation to each other. So we can easily just get rid of them. Oh, we got to make sure to get rid of the create thread too, because that's actually what's going to execute that malware. So if you look, stage 1, stage 2 are concatenated together to get stage 3, and then the byte XOR operation down here is used on stage 3. Notice how they have no interaction with these other random variables. So we should be good. Now, let's go ahead and print out stage 3. We can simply do that by just typing out the variable like that. And let's go ahead and run it. All right, it looks like it came back with a byte array. Oh, part of the reason it threw an error is because I didn't actually save this. So let's go ahead and do that first, or before we continue. We'll just call this special orders. All right. Now then, let's clear. Let's run it again. All right, there you go. There's still a little bit of a... Oh, here we go. Let's comment that out. Just missed a spot, you know? There we go. Okay, now the error's gone. And we just are left with a byte array here. So now we need to convert that to ASCII. We could probably do that in CyberChef or whatever, but let's just do it in the code because it's easy enough as is. So what we want to do is we want to typecast it to a character array. And then, well, let's just see what that gives us. All right, that looks like our flag, but it's all on new lines. Annoying. So let's go ahead and just run a join with nothing there. And then we get it all on one line. HTTP, beware of the boots of justice. Now my mic was kind of screwy, so I already had submitted this right here. And I wanted to re-record it so that my mic audio was better. Because it was pointed out in my TJCTF write-ups that my voice was kind of quiet. So I fixed the mic audio, so hopefully it sounds better. But you'll notice that on Golden Persistence as well, when we go over that one, I had my messed up mic settings for that one too, so I had to re-record that. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel to show your support. Turn on post notifications to get regular injections of cyber content directly into your feed. Check out our Patreon, join our Discord, and follow us on Twitter. Links in the description box down below. And leave any feedback or questions in the comments section down below. This is Almond Milk. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, world.